Hey everyone, it's me Lone, back with a Flight 76 video, and today a bunch of info was released about the next major update happening to the game, and that info was included in an Inside the Vault article and also the latest PTS features and update log, and both of those are linked in the description below if you're interested. But today we're going to be covering all the information in those two articles in this video, so if you enjoyed this video, please like it, I would really appreciate it. Subscribe if you're new, but with all that out of the way, let's get to the content. Alrighty, as I said, we have two articles to cover in today's video. This one is the Inside the Vault, and the next one is the features and update log for the PTS. Now this actually has the ability to change as the PTS is updated, with people giving their feedback and playtesting. So what I would recommend that you do is bookmark this page, just if you want to see how the PTS is evolving over time. And for the most part, the information between this and the Inside the Vault is relatively the same, but this tends to be a bit more detailed in terms of what is coming in the December update. So I'll be jumping back to this one every now and again to make sure that we cover everything. But let's start off with the Inside the Vault and we'll go on from there. So as you can see, it is titled Fallout 76 Inside the Vault, Dive into Night of the Moth PTS playtesting. As you know, the Tales from the Stars content was moved to next year. This is why the name of the update is now Night of the Moth. So in this week's edition of the Inside the Vault, we're taking a look at everything that's on the way to the PTS when we reopen it to begin Night of the Moth update playtesting later today. I'm just pushing through this stuff because it's pretty simple. We've included a revised community calendar, which is towards the end of the article, with updates to our schedule through the end of this year. So the PTS returned, as mentioned above, we're planning to reopen the PTS today. You'll be able to try out a new Mothman themed seasonal event, public event adjustments, and a host of community requested quality of life improvements. Now these quality of life improvements are probably the bread and butter of this update. There's a lot of cool stuff in there that you've been asking for years for, like Flight 76 has been out for almost 3 years now. So there's a lot of nice stuff in there that I think is going to make this update very nice for all of you. And of course, we're getting a new seasonal event on top of the ones that we already have, so Fashion Day and Meat Week. So it's a nice update considering that we did have, a bunch of content moved back to next year. So we're just going to have to wait a little bit longer on that content. It continues by saying we're currently targeting December to release this update for the live game, as I said, and we would greatly appreciate any feedback and bug reports that you're able to share. So join the Bethesda Studios Discord if you're able to participate in the PTS and share that feedback, because it does make an impact. There's been countless occasions where community feedback has been received and changes have been made to the PTS. Legendary perk coins and perk cards is one big example that I always bring up. So just jumping back to this, there's no real new information in the update log. It just says it's available. Join us for some playtesting. Be in the Bethesda Studios Discord server if you want to. So let's start off with the big first piece of content, is the Mothman Equinox seasonal event. So the planets are aligning, and a group of the wise Mothman's most devoted followers, known as the Enlightened, have traveled from afar to reach Point Pleasant. There they intend to perform a ritual that will summon the wise Mothman during the peak of his power, every hour during this seasonal event, and it'll be every hour on the hour, kind of like Meat Week and Fashion Day. You can venture to Point Pleasant to aid the Enlightened in completing this dark ceremony. However, this will be no easy task, as you also need to fend off rival Mothman cultist groups who will seek to stop you. As well, if you're the curious type, you may find that poking around Point Pleasant during this seasonal event may enlighten you to the mysterious origins behind our newest Mothman fanatics. While the Mothman Equinox event is live, you'll also encounter hostile cultist high priests throughout Appalachia who can bend the will of nearby creatures to do their bidding. Stop the cult from spreading their influence by taking down any high priest you meet. When you do, you'll be able to loot them for a chance to earn some rare item plans. As I said, this log actually provides more information on how this seasonal event is going to work. So with the Night of the Moth update, we're introducing this event, as you know, Enlightened, a sect of the wise Mothman's most devoted followers, blah blah blah, pretty much what I said before. So here's how it actually works. Visit Point Pleasant in the forest region of Appalachia every hour at the top of the hour to take part in the Mothman Equinox seasonal event. Begin the event by speaking with Interpreter Clarence on the roof of the Mothman Museum. Join with other dwellers to aid the Enlightened in completing a variety of ritual-related tasks around Point Pleasant, lighting ceremonial bonfires, and defending against an onslaught of rival Mothman cultists. So there's going to be a number of different tasks to do, kind of like Fashion Day, kind of like Meat Week. So one of your typical seasonal events for Flight 76. It says that if you manage to finish each objective before its timer expires, so there's going to be a timer, head back to the Mothman's Museum's roof to complete the final step of the summoning, commune with a wise Mothman, and have a chance to earn new themed plans. Now, I haven't played this event, mind you, but I assume that communing with the wise Mothman is also going to give you that 5% experience boost that you get in that event in the game already anyways, but because this is at the top of every hour, perhaps you're able to get that every hour. So that's going to be a nice little boost, but don't hold me to that. That's just my speculation, having not played it. And yes, there's going to be some new plans, of course, to be earned in this event. So if you want to get all those rare plans, you're going to have to keep running it and hope that those plans drop. We don't know what the rare plans are. I mean, data miners probably do, but I don't know what those rare plans are or the actual drop rates. So keep that in mind. While you're in Point Pleasant, don't forget to hunt around for ways to learn more about the origins of the Mysterious Enlightened. So along with this event as well, there seems to be some lore actually related to the Mothman and also the Enlightened group. So that's going to be nice to experience as well. As long as the Mothman Equinox seasonal event is live, you'll also encounter cultist high priests during your adventures throughout Appalachia. Hunt down and dispatch them for more chances to earn Mothman cult themed rewards, but watch out for their shadow creatures. Again, those are the ones that they're bending to their will. And this is kind of like Meat Week in terms of in between the events at the top of every hour, you can go out and get prime meat. This seems to be operating in a similar way where you go out and kill the cultist high priests in between the actual proper event for the equinox. And this seems to mean that you're getting more chances to earn those rewards. So hopefully it makes it even easier for you if you are dedicated enough to be killing those high priests and then do the actual event. So hopefully there's a good chance you'll be getting all the rare rewards for this event. So jumping back, we're going to be talking about the public event improvement. So this is very, very general here. It says we're bringing a variety of improvements to public events with this update. First, we're streamlining the way that public events become available by making the cooldown times between events much more consistent. More on that in the log. And preventing the same public event from appearing twice in a row in the same world. I've never experienced that, to be honest, so maybe if you're unlucky, you are getting two of the same events in a row, but yeah, I never experienced that in the game so far, unless I just forgot about it. Next, we're adding rewards information to the event description that appears after clicking on a public event on the map, so you can more easily see the types of loot that you can earn from each event. And I think that's really going to be useful, especially with people still trying to get the nuclear winter rewards that were added to the game with the recent update. So that's going to be a nice touch. Finally, we're making a few balance changes to the two events that have historically been very difficult, like Radiation Rumble and Project Paradise. I think with Radiation Rumble, they're talking about ore collecting and actually completing the event properly and not treating it like an XP farm. Events that last too long, like Light in the Sand, or even end too quickly, like Tea Time. We've also fixed up several bugs that affect Swarm of Suitors and made some design tweaks to help revitalize the event. So jumping to the log itself, we have way more information about how these changes are actually implemented and what changes are implemented. So it says here, public event system updates. We've streamlined the way that events become available in the game by making the cooldown times much more consistent. Public event start times are now based on real world time, and a new one will begin every 20 minutes across all worlds. Very consistent. Now we know it's every 20 minutes, no matter what world you're on. So I really like that change. I think that's going to make it much easier as opposed to like hopping worlds and hoping that there's a new event that's going to pop up. Now we know it's, this time PM or that time AM, and we know there's going to be a new public event popping up at this time. So I do like that change. Each world's next public event is selected at random. In addition, a public event can no longer appear twice in a row in the same world. So if that was ever happening to you, now it's not going to happen to you. Seasonal public events that begin every hour, like Graham's Meat Cook or Mothman Equinox, or even Fashion Day, will take priority over normal public events. So I think that means that when these events spawn, that means a public event is not also going to spawn on that hour. Because from memory, I believe that you could have a public event on the map at the same time as one of these seasonal events. I can't remember, to be honest, but at the very least, you probably want to be doing these seasonal events anyways over just regular public events that are always available in the game. And then a few public events like Scorched Earth and the Colossal Problem, and also Encrypted, have special requirements in order to start and can be triggered at any time. That has not changed, and these events are not part of the timed public event rotation. So just kind of clarifying that. As mentioned above, you can now preview the rewards that are up for grabs at each public event directly from the event's description on the map. Click on an available public event to display its description and view some of the big ticket items that are possible to earn if you manage to complete that event successfully. So again, it's going to be really nice to see what you can actually earn from an event to make sure that you've got everything, because there's probably a bunch of stuff that I don't even have at this stage. Public event balance adjustment. So again, we got a bunch more information to see what specific changes are made to certain public events. So let's just jump right to it. Campfire towers. The campfire was previously dying down too quickly, I agree, which could cause the event to fail too easily. So now the campfire is going to be lasting a little bit longer, giving you and your event mate some more time to feed the flames. Free range. The Brahmin during this event were too fragile. I think especially when the wolves attacked, that was always the killer one for me, especially if you didn't have any teammates. But if you're good enough, you were able to get around that. But maybe if you were low level, you weren't able to defend them enough. So we've beefed up their resistances to help them survive more easily. Though you'll still need to defend them, obviously, but at the very least, there's going to be a higher chance that you can get to the end of it, complete the public event, and also get your legendary kill. Line in the sand. This event was taking a bit too long. I agree with that. Like, sometimes it was very difficult to find enemies and you were just waiting for the next phase. So we've shortened this event's overall time to 10 minutes and reduced some enemy wave timers and the preparation phase timer accordingly. Yeah, that preparation phase timer was very, very long. I think it was like after 10 minutes from memory. Project Paradise. To help reduce the difficulty of Project Paradise, one of the most hard or most difficult events in the game if you didn't have a team, we're lowering the amount of food required to 15 per rank, and we're also adding some more resistances to the friendly creatures that spawn during the event, so that's going to be a nice touch. Maybe that'll encourage a bit more participation in Project Paradise. Then Radiation Rumble, the big one. So to encourage more players to participate in the ore collection objective specifically, we're going to lower the requirements to 5, 15, 30, and 50 ore for the reward tiers 1 through 4 respectively. This event no longer ends immediately when you reach the final collection tier, which is freaking awesome. You can continue to defend against enemy waves until the now 8-minute event timer expires. So this means there's actually an incentive to do all the ores, because not only you're going to get, max rewards, it also means that you can still kill enemies and get that XP for the full 8 minutes. The one downside, I guess, is that some people don't like to go to even the first, or to the second tier, I should say, because that actually changes the enemies that spawn. Some people just like the ghouls as opposed to the death claws and also the floaters. So I don't know how that's going to work, but at the very least, you get a full 8 minutes to be spamming your XP if you want to, but also completing the event properly. And then finally, we've doubled Scavenger's resistances to make them even more survivable. So made this event much easier, and I like the changes. Swarm of Suitors. We've adjusted a number of bugs that could prevent some players from receiving the highest tier rewards and from successfully completing the event. We've also made some design changes to help smooth out the experience while playing through Swarm of Suitors. Mylok attack waves now have 2 timers, an initial timer and a last chance timer. Players must kill all enemies in a wave before the last chance timer expires, or the Mylok Queen will spawn, resulting in an event failure. And then tea time. While we did not feel that tea time was overly difficult, it could end in failure too quickly at times. So as a result, we've increased the health of the 2 of the 3 pipes so that they match the sturdiest one. Additionally, rat ants and ticks can no longer spawn during the event. They were very hard to find during tea time, so I understand that change. And we've slightly increased the enemy spawn rate to keep up the action. And then we've got the quality of life improvements. Now, I believe this information here is pretty much the exact same as this one here, and this one actually has pictures to illustrate it, so I'm just going to stay on this page for now. So quality of life improvements, corpse highlights. I'll show the picture at the same time. You've just dropped a legendary feral ghoul, but wait, where is his body? Was it over there? No, perhaps over here. We've all been there. Yes, we have all been there. Especially when an enemy explodes and you can't find the bloody body. Hunting through tall grass to find a foe's final resting place so we can get our loot and then head back to our camp. In this update, we're adding highlights that will help you more easily spot nearby creature corpses so that you can spend more time adventuring and less time searching for your hard-earned loot. In addition, normal and legendary creatures have different highlight colors so you can tell them apart. Really like this. As I said, this is one of those quality of life improvements that has been asked for ages. People want to know where the corpses are, both for legendaries, I think more so for legendaries, but also regular enemies, just in case, right? So I really like these changes. It's going to make it much easier to secure your legendaries, but also this is going to work in tandem with another quality of life update. So let me cover this one as well, because this one is really important, called nearby corpse looting. So unlike many of the creatures who cross your path in the wasteland, you're a born survivor. Whenever corpses start to pile up, you'll no longer need to pick through each and every one to grab your loot. When viewing a fallen enemy's inventory, you can now see and collect all the goodies that the creatures around you have dropped by hitting the nearby corpses button. Happy looting. So not only is it going to be easier for you to find a specific corpse that's dropped, right? But also once you've found that one corpse, you're able to loot all nearby corpses, which is also going to include any nearby legendaries. So really, really nice touch. It's going to make it much easier for you to loot and just to see if there's any worthwhile going to that corpse and that corpse and that corpse, even though you can find them easier now. It's just going to make it much simpler to be looting in the game. So I really, really like that. It's a nice change, and yeah, probably not even I don't remember people recommending this or suggesting this as much as corpse highlights, but I do think that's a nice change and a really nice touch. And then we've got legendary loot sharing. This is really cool as well. So going forward, if you're within sight range of a legendary creature when it's killed, you'll be able to loot it. With this improvement, the days of trying to hit legendary enemies before they die, as well as waiting for other players to get their hits on before you land the killing blow, are over. I love this. I freaking love this. No more waiting for people to kill the mole miners in Uranium Fever or the Sloth as part of Fashion Hot Day. So many instances of where you would have to wait for people to get a shot on a legendary enemy before you could actually get the final kill. I love this, man. I think this is going to make legendary looting much, much easier in addition to the other changes. And it's also going to make it much fairer. Even if you're there, you're still participating in the event or whatever it might be. If you don't manage to get a single hit on a legendary, in particular if they're a legendary that dies very easily, then you can still get that legendary loot. I think it's a really nice change, and it should make the game much easier and better in that regard. And then we've got Team XP sharing. So that was a lot of loot improvements when it comes to quality of life, but now we've got Team XP sharing. So sharing is caring, and leveling up as your adventure with your team is about to get easier. Every enemy that you or your teammate takes down will now grant XP to everyone on the team, so long as you were within sight range of the creature when it dies. I love this too. What this is going to mean is that if you want to hyper level a teammate or like a friend that has just started the game, for instance, and you want to get them to level 50 as quick as possible, you can now just get them to stand near you and you can just kill enemies, high level enemies, and get them a lot of experience that way. Of course, enemies are still scaling to their level, but I really like that. And it also means in an event like Radiation Rumble, for instance, you don't need to tag everyone. Like if you're within sight, and especially if you got a lot of people on your team that are at the event, then you're going to be getting that XP anyways. The one instance where it's not going to count, I don't believe, is it's just someone that's not on your team killing an enemy that's near you. I think in that instance, you or your teammates are still going to have to get a shot on that enemy for at least, for all of you to get that experience. So I do like that change, but there's still some incentive to be shooting enemies anyways to ensure your teammates do get the experience. And then the build new menu tab. We're adding a new tab to your camp build menu that will display on any new camp items plans you've learned during your current play session, as well as new camp items you've unlocked in the Atomic Shop. So this is like the days of learning a plan or buying something in the Atomic Shop and trying to search it in your specific menu. You don't have to do that anymore. You can now just go to the new tab and place down straight away the item that you've learned or bought on the Atomic Shop. So that's a nice little touch for you builders out there. And then the Pip-boy keyring. Finally, tired of all those keys cluttering up your Pip-boy? Yes, get organized with the keyring, which is a new item in your miscellaneous inventory tab that stores all of the keys that you've collected from your adventures in the Wasteland. Click it to view any or access any keys in your collection as needed. This is just going to clean up the Pip-boy. Like, I really like this. I like having a very clean inventory, and those keys that were there were obviously clogging it up. So very nice quality of life change. Then Pip-boy menu color customization. Obviously, if you're on PC, you could already do this anyways, but particularly for you on console, you can now show your true colors by changing the hue of your Pip-boy, and there's a new set of customization sliders as well to the game settings. So I'm probably going to make mine blue. It's just my favorite color. But yeah, now you can change it to pretty much whatever color. I believe it's operating on an RGB scale, so that's going to be a nice little change as well. Again, especially for you on console. Now here's something that I really appreciate, ammo everywhere. The contextual ammo system that has been a very popular part of daily ops, yes it has, we'd like to bring it to all of Appalachia. Now all existing sources of ammo, like containers and creature loot, have a chance to drop a small amount of ammo for your currently equipped weapon. So I don't believe this is going to operate exactly like daily ops. It's more going to operate like, what's the event? Colossal Problem. You know how you can kill the Wendigos there, the Wendigo spawns, and sometimes they drop the ammo of the gun that you're using? I think that's how this is going to operate. It's not going to be all the time like daily ops. It'll be sometimes, but that's really nice, especially if you're struggling on ammo and if you just want to keep up your stores. I really like this change. No matter where you are in Appalachia, you have a chance to get some of your ammo back in the game. And hopefully that should include Ultrasight and Prime ammo as well. So really nice. It's going to make it much easier, especially for you to be using Prime ammo in the game. And then what else have we got? So that covers the quality of life improvements, and the log ends there. So again, keep an eye on this log just in case any other changes are made. But to end this video, we'll cover the community calendar. To be honest, there's not much to cover. I'll speed past this. So as we draw nearer to the Night of the Moth update, we've determined some of the content that we originally announced with our 2021 roadmap still needs more development and internal testing time before we're ready to bring to the game. As a result, we're pushing Camp Pets, Invaders from Beyond event, and 4-star legendary items into 2022, as I said before. While we're sure this news will come as a disappointment to some of you, we appreciate your patience and believe this additional time will result in a high quality and more polished features. Despite the scheduling change, there's still plenty of excitement in store for Fallout 76 this year, including Bombs Drop Day festivities, spooky and holiday scorched events, so we have another seasonal event as well. And of course, everything we detailed in the PTS above. So catch all the need to know events and dates in the revised community calendar below. As I said, this is linked in the description below if you want to check it out for yourself. But it covers things like, double mutations and Gold Rush. Spooky Scorched is happening from October 19 to November 2. There's a script surplus, Bombs Drop Day, obviously October 23, that we do every year. Double Score, Double XP and Double Mutations. The 76th 3-year anniversary. God, man, I've been at the company for over 3 years now. Gold Rush, Double Score, Caps Aplenty, etc., etc. You can read through this at your own pace. I think one of the main things is obviously the December update. So sometime in December, we're going to be getting this update. Now, it says here that December 7 to 14, update 32. So it's around then. And of course, with this update, we're getting a new season. So season 7, Zorbo's Revenge, is going to be the theme for the next season of Fallout 76. So keep an eye out for that. And then, the actual Mothman Equinox seasonal event, that is taking place from December 7 to the 21st of December. So it's going to be it's about 2-week event around then. So during December, close to the holiday period. So I like that. Hopefully I have some time off to be able to farm it properly. And then, Holiday Scorch begins December 21st, and then just regular other Double Score, Minerva's Sale, Double XP events. So that pretty much covers it. I hope this video has helped. I feel like I stumbled through it, but I hate editing my videos when it's this long. So let's get to the conclusion of this video. Alrighty, Wastanders, that is all from me. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and until next time, this has been Lone. Please take care of yourselves and keep fighting the good fight.